Today's video is about being vegan and being on a high fruit diet. Many people, they look at that diet, or they'll look at me and say I'm too skinny or whatever, but there are people that are on this diet that are not skinny, much more meat on their bones and more muscle than I have. So it works, and it's helped me be more flexible, more energy at 73, and also no medications, no surgeries. So I know this diet works, but many people are fooled by this world we live in, because from the moment we're born, we're bombarded with, we need animal-based foods. We need milk for calcium, we need meat for protein. And these are, billion-dollar industries that can promote their products. They're very powerful. They can do studies that show that their products are good for us, when in fact, milk actually causes osteoporosis. And, that's a calcium problem. So, there's a lot of things that we have to use our brains, do some research, and then make an informed decision. But, because when, if you're brought up, if you've been eating, an animal-based diet for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, thinking about just eating fruit or vegetables can be very daunting. Like, oh no, that's way too extreme. That's extreme. But there's many reasons why it's not extreme. And it's the diet that we are designed for. I happen to be a believer and I believe that the Bible is God's word. And at Genesis 1:29, it says that God gave our first parents, Adam and Eve, He gave them fruits and plants bearing seed. That was the food. Do you think that God would give us something too extreme? I don't think so. He gives us the best because He loves us. So, going back to that original diet, fruits and vegetables, is a very good idea. And even though we're a long way from the beginning of creation, fruits and vegetables still serve our bodies the best. Now, let me just clarify and say right off the bat that if you ate small amounts of meat, chicken, fish, dairy, and all that, you'd probably get through life okay. Would you get through life optimally? Not necessarily, because those animal-based foods, I believe, were given to us for survival, but not necessarily the best foods. The best foods, you've got to go back to the beginning. Fruits and vegetables. Those are the best. Now, as I mentioned, people say it's too extreme because they've been brought up eating animal-based foods their whole life. They've seen all the commercials, all the ads for these foods, and even doctors that are recommending them and so forth. And they feel, I'm okay. I'm pretty healthy. But they don't really know what healthy really feels like. They're surviving. They're not thriving. So, the other thing I wanted to add is that when you think about extreme, what has the typical standard American diet produced as far as health? You look at this country, we got tons of fast food chains, meat, all the animal-based products, eggs, cheese, chicken, fish, they're all promoted, and most Americans are on, without a doubt, 50, 60, 70% of their daily caloric needs come from fats. That is not a healthy scenario, and that's why here in this country we've got heart disease, we've got diabetes, we've got cancer out of control, totally out of control. And it's because it's a man-made, these are man-made illnesses because of food intake. It's too much. As I mentioned earlier, if you had just a little bit here and there, like they do in other countries where, 8 Chinese people will eat one little piece of meat, okay? And that's once a week, okay? So they survive on plants in the countryside in China, and they're living to 95, functional and healthy until they pass away. So, or should I say, functional, until they pass away. You get tired and eventually die. But, so what has this diet, this high-fat diet produced? It's produced a country of sick people, all the big three. So, as far as I'm concerned, that diet is extreme. Eating 50, 60, 70% of your daily caloric needs, and sometimes higher, from saturated fats is extreme. And the result is extreme. Because what people end up having to do, they need open heart surgery. They open up your chest, split that rib cage. That's extreme. Or diabetes. You have to take insulin shots for the rest of your life. That's extreme. Cancer. You've got to have chemotherapy or radiation. That's extreme. You're putting poisons into your body. So, this is not an extreme diet. It's what we're designed for. But people have not gotten used to it because of the way we're brought up. And when they look at it, they go, oh, no, no. And do you lose weight? Absolutely, you lose a lot of weight on a vegan diet, especially a high fruit. And especially if it's raw, you get even leaner. But, it's the way to go if you want to truly be healthy. So I hope this makes sense to you and you'll give it a try. I'm here to help you. And, any questions or comments, just put those below. So all the best, and fruit up, baby, fruit up. That's the key.